I just wanna be, I just wanna be successful.
That's all I want, man.
I just wanna be, I just wanna.
Hey, what's going on, guys? You just tuned in to For Real Talk TV. I'm your host, Larry.
And I'm Andrea. And today we will be talking about sisters and their relationship. My co-host will be Jessica.
So you stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Successful. I just wanna be successful.
Hi guys, I'm Andrea. Welcome back to For Real Talk TV, where we just believe in keeping it real. So whatever you hear tonight, it's really us. This is Jessica, and we are talking about sisters and their relationships. I have two sisters, one older, one younger, and I'm the middle. So I'm between both of them.
I have two sisters. One's 20 years younger than me. I'm 23 and she's 3. And then I have a sister, she's 20. We're 3 years apart.
Well, you know what? First, I want to just touch bases on the whole dynamics of how we get along with our sisters, because that, I think, is an important topic to cover. It's kind of like a topic within a topic. You know what I'm saying? So, when I was younger, I wasn't raised with my sisters. We were all 3 raised by 3 different people. You know, even though we all had the same mom, we didn't have the same father. So what happened was, as we got older, we had to learn to develop our own relationship with each other, because we didn't have the common bond of being in a household with the same parents. But I know you, on the other hand, you and all your siblings were in the same household, right?
Yeah, we were. And sometimes I think, like, me and my sister were so close that all sisters are like us, you know? Yeah. But they're not. We argue. Sisters argue. But that's the thing about it.
Yeah,
with your sister, you can argue, but you can always make up with your sister. You know your sister's always going to be there to be your friend. That's how I feel. Yeah, well, that's how I feel about my sister. But like I said, everybody ain't like that with their sister.
But I'm just saying, your sister's not always your friend, because sometimes you develop like a love-hate relationship with your sister.
Yeah. Because
you feel like, okay, you know, this person is the closest to me, and who can really get to you except for the person that's closest to you.
Yeah.
So sometimes your sister, like, can be your worst nightmare. It depends on what type of sister you have.
Yeah.
You know, thank God I had 2 sisters that were, once we started developing a relationship together, I had some sibling rivalry between me and my younger sister, because we were like in a competition to prove, you know, who could be loved the most, you know, by our mom. But after that, you know, we decided, hey, you know what, let's just call the truth and get to know each other, you know, for the people that we are. So, you know, it all worked out for the best in the end, but it was a rough, I mean, we really hit a rough patch, you know, when we first became, because in order to really be close as sisters, we did have to become friends, and that was hard.
Yeah.
That was hard.
And you know what? It's good when you have a sister that's your friend, you know, because that's how I feel about my sister. Like, we've been through so much. Yeah. And that's like one of the few people who I can say, they done been with me through everything I done been through. Right. Every bad thing, every fun thing, every good thing, every crazy thing, you know, they done been with you the whole way through.
There was a lot of crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? It's strange, because you tell your sister more than you tell your parents. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, by the same token, though, I want to add this. Sometimes you develop a sisterly relationship with people that aren't really your blood relative. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's your sister. S-I-S-T-A.
I got some sisters,
that's
too.
your sister.
I got some sisters.
And those bonds can't really be broken either. So if you develop a sister relationship, that's a blessing too. That's the same as having a blood sister.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because they are the same people that will stick by your side, like you said, no matter what. Through the thick and thin, through the good and the bad. If you got a true sister, and she don't even have to be black, she can be white, Mexican, Puerto Rican, she can be Filipino, Samoan. If you got a sister,
that's my sister.
It will stick with you to the end.
Yes.
So I understand what you're saying, because me and my relationships, you know, like when you get grown and you have kids, you know, Jessica, a lot of time life just takes over. You don't really have time for anybody. But if you have somebody that is like your sister, that you know, no matter how long we go without speaking, no matter how long we go without talking, hey, I still love you, you still love me, and when you need me, call me.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And vice versa. Then you can't beat that. There's no other bond like that. You know what I'm saying? Because that is a person that you have told even your deepest, darkest secret to, and they keep it.
That you may have even, you couldn't even tell your real sister that.
Right.
That you tell your sister that.
Right.
So.
And you can't even tell your parents. You know, your parents don't know all your business. I don't know everything that happened when my kids were kids, you know. I don't know. Sometimes I'm still learning stuff right now. I'm still trying to figure it out. I heard a couple things the other day about the kids going to the parties, but I don't know. I'm just saying.
Not about me.
Just real talk.
Okay.
Just real talk. I'm just saying. We are talking about, since we're going to stay on the subject. It's real talk, but we're going to try to stick to the subject.
It's not about me. It's nothing about this.
Anyway, guys, we got to take a break. We need to go pay some bills. Hey guys, we're back. Welcome to For Real Talk TV. I'm your host, Andrea, and our guest host is Jessica, and we are talking about sisters and their relationship. Jessica, question. Have you and your sister ever gotten into a fight? A physical fight. Not just an argument. A fight.
Yeah, we got into a fight before.
What led to the fight?
A lot of things.
Why couldn't you just stop? Why couldn't you just stop with the argument?
Okay, mainly because this is how I feel about it. I feel like the only reason me and Lily was to get into a fight was because we're sisters, and even though we like fight, I know that's one person like we always gonna make up. So that's probably what led to the fight. Why we both felt that we could actually fight, because it's not right to fight. We all know that. Okay. We all been in fights though, but
so you gotten past that stage. You don't of course. Fight no
me
more
and Lily, we don't fight. Now we don't fight, but we done been into lots of fights.
Right. Me and my sister got into one fight. And I think I got the best of her because we never fought again. But you know what? But now I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna put out a disclaimer right now. That's only because she's not here. I want to fight, okay? But if she was here, I would admit defeat. Let me tell you, okay? You won. Real talk. That's real talk.
Me and Lily, we'd have been to a lot of fights. They was close. They was real close. That's how I know. Lily,
We'll just say some of your fights was a draw. It was a tie.
We can say that.
So we don't want, because Lily might walk in the door, so we don't want to start nothing. Anyways, guys, we're going to take another break and we'll be right back with For Real Talk TV.
What's the synopsis?
No matter how bad your relationship is with your sister, it can always get better. And if you have a bad relationship with your sister, you can turn it around. It's never too late.
I got something to say about sisters, because you know what? Sisters find each other. Right. No matter how long you've been without your sister, your sister could be here and you could be there. Sisters gonna find each other.
I agree.
They find each other. They find each other on TV. They find each other on Maury. They find each other.
Mary. I agree.
They do. Because you got that bond with your sister. You got that bond with your sister.
That's true. It's a bond. Even if you don't know your sister, you still have a bond with that person because you connected with that person by blood. And even if you never met them, you're right. You still have a desire to meet.
You connected with them by spirit. You are.
True. I agree with you. Ladies and gentlemen, we are on For Real Talk TV, and we are talking for real about sisters and their relationships. And the main point that we want to make is no matter where you are in life, where your sisters are in life, if you have a bad relationship with them, you can still turn around for the better. and develop a good relationship with them. If you've been through some things, some hard times, if you had fights with your sisters, please, please call your sister up, make amends, be the bigger person.
For real.
Thank you for joining Real Talk TV. That's for real.
For real, for real.
I just wanna be, I just wanna be successful.
That's all I want, man.
I just wanna be, I just wanna be
You gotta tell 'em, Trey.
successful.